What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Leave It to the Judges MMA show. I'm with the boys Nick and Xavier. And today, guys, we're going to be previewing UFC 328. We got two title fights in New Jersey, two banger title fights. Let's start at the tippy top. Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. Crazy beef going into this. Sean Strickland looking to get the belt for the second time, former champion. He had that crazy upset over Izzy, looking to do another one. But Khamzat's on a roll, man. He just steamrolled DDP. Seemingly everyone's picking him. What are your guys' read on this fight and the intensity of the build-up for the fight?
Um, well, I'll start with the what I feel about the build up because I think it's pretty hype, man. I think that these guys having training history, as well as the slight racial uh jabs that come from Sean Strickland and shit, I think it just adds something to it, you know what I mean? Um, as far as the X's and O's go. This man is not putting the rabbit out the hat twice. I promise you that. What he did to my boy Izzy was a travesty, but Hamza won't let no shit like that happen. I think that a lot of people. I think that the odds are pretty fair. Like the odds makers understand what the fuck this is, but I think that a lot of people are trying to convince themselves that because Sean Strickland is like pretty popular and Um, like a lot of people like him and shit. I think that they're trying to convince themselves that he has a bigger chance than he does, especially because we've seen him like win these fights that people count him out in before. Um, but I think that this is just he's bitten off more than he can chew. Um, I just think that his striking style is not conducive necessarily to fending off takedowns. And if he starts keeping his hands lower and shit and trying to like wrestle, he'll just be getting away from like what makes him him. Like he only fights one way, and oftentimes he's like lifting his lead leg and shit, and like that's just serving yourself up for a takedown. I just don't understand like how his striking game would translate to keeping Hamza off of him. Nor do I think he has the power to like one shot Hamza. So. Even if he clips Hamza or like has a good shot in there, that usually leads to some type of grappling sequences where Hamza will, in short order, take him down and regain control of the fight. So I really see very little path for him to win. Um, unless like the only way he would even have a chance is if like Hamza did a boost mission. And as we've seen, Hamza at middleweight is not Hamza at 175 at 170. Um, this ain't a boost, man, and the dominance will sustain. I think Hamza finishes Strickland like before round three.
I 1,000% agree. This is a run through. This is no close fight. I've been hearing a lot the last few weeks. Sean has this great takedown defense. He's way better there than we think he is. Yada, yada, yada. It's Hamza Chimaev, people. This is no you know, Sean Brady going out there trying to get takedowns or someone like that.
Yeah.
This man is special in this area. And then, Sean also being like, oh, I've trained with him before, I've made him quit, yada yada. That's more noise I'm hearing from him. Sound like you're hiding something there, Sean. Because we've seen the tape. We've seen he's gotten choked out there many times by the man Hamzat. So I'm not under. And also, I think when they were training, he was still at 170, correct? Or at least he was moving up. That was the transition period.
I'm not exactly sure when they train like the timeline.
Okay. I
Um,
want to say it was like around that area.
mhm.
So even if he had a little bitty bit of success, now you're fighting middleweight Hamzat, where the cardio seems a lot better. And as far as I'm concerned, I have seen no fighter yet stop a takedown off the man off the first exchange. I've yet to still see it. Like, I thought Burns fought the best from it when they fought. But right now, like, the way Hamza just came off the DDP fight, the way he beat him, I don't see how a Hamza is not the easy pick here. And Sean is tough, but one can't throw a leg kick or anything else but a jab and a cross for shit, like I've always said. And two, he has never faced a wrestler of Hamzat's level in the UFC. I know he faced Usman back in the day, but like,
I was just about to say Usman, but
yeah, once again, that was 170, or maybe it was middleweight. I don't know. I thought it was,
it was 170.
yeah. And now he's up here against Hamzat, who is at his right weight class now, and will probably just fuck him up the same way Usman did back in the day. Like, I just think it's a run through. I don't see Sean really doing well out here. I mean, even if he keeps it on the feet, I think this is a situation where Hamzat's boxing could come through. I don't think Sean Strickland to me is just a guy with somewhat, he just doesn't have enough in the toolbox, and that's always been my issue with him when it comes to the striking game, Philly shell, all that. And I think that's too easy for a guy like Hamza to face. Like, he doesn't have to worry about enough weapons to get the takedowns. And when you watch back the very first DDP fight, because we all forget this, DDP took him down by exploding into him, power double legs, basically power everything. And based on what we just saw, Hamzat has even more strength and more pop out there. So
And and a better double leg open mat takedown.
yeah, and those are the shots Hamza usually does take. I think, DDP used a little more body locks.
Hmm
He's a big man, so it makes sense. But I think like usually he will just power double and like turn. I mean, he did a few against DDP as well. So he's just too explosive. And I don't think the middle-aged looking fighter Sean Strickland, from what I've seen out there, is going to be able to stuff a head or anything in this fight. This is a run through. I'm going to be glad to see it. I think we're about now 4 years and about 4 months into the time period where Sean Strickland will never win the belt. The day I said so, EDP took it off him. And this is easy dubs here. First round finish. Let's move.
Yeah, I think there is a path for Sean to win, kind of like how we beat Anthony Hernandez. Wait, kind of like how we beat Anthony Hernandez. He was able to stop a lot of the wrestling and just drown him with the punches. But the issue is, like you both said, this is Hamzat Shemaev, and we just saw what Hamzat did to DDP, and this is going to play in how I think Hamzat wins the fight. DDP, I don't know, he just wasn't able to get finished on the ground. I think it's just because he's such a physical guy, or maybe his like defensive ground game's really good. I don't think Strickland's going to be able to combat it the same way. I think he'll have more success than DDP, but he'll get finished. But that's not hard to say because DDP had zero offense. I'm gonna go Hamzat by second round submission.
That's kind of how I'm feeling.
Anything else on this fight, guys? Also, I'm very happy to see Hamzat fight relatively quick after his last fight. For Hamzat standards, this isn't that bad. August to May.
Yeah, 9 months, Ed.
I mean, Ilya hasn't fought in a year, man. Like,
Well, he was dealing with legal issues.
that is true. Maybe
Hamza
not.
had excuses about.
Yeah, considering how little damage Hamzat takes in his fights. that makes it even worse. You know what I mean? If he was like, having wars for these title fights, it would be a lot more understandable his schedule. But it's like, damn, or like even like Islam, because like Islam's damn near like on the same path at this phase in his career. He's like mogul phase. You know what I mean? Um, but it's fine because like in his prime, like he like not to say he's not still in his prime, but like in his like contender days, he actually fought a fuck ton. You know what I mean? And smacked a bunch of the like contenders in his division. Whereas Hamza, even like the man still only has like 16 fights in the UFC or something like that. Like it's ridiculous. Like he needs to definitely get in there a little bit more. Especially if he takes no damage against Sean Strickland, bro. Just run these guys over so you can go up to light heavyweight and fulfill your dreams.
What would be a bigger upset? Strickland beating Izzy or Strickland beating Hamza?
Um,
Strickland beating Strickland beating Hamza for sure. Just because like matchup wise, like I know it's like hindsight's 2020, but like matchup wise, like the dominant wrestling of Hamza supersedes like any type of striking game, I would say.
Khamzat's the new Khabib to me, so I think that would like him losing just seems kind of impossible. Like where Izzy at least like it seems somewhat improbable, but I felt like if he got I felt like Duplessis was gonna beat him. And that was supposed to be the matchup for that night. So I don't know. And also Izzy was a lot older at the time, where I think like Shamayev definitely like coming into his prime right now. He is 32, but I think he can extend that for a minute.
Especially because he's not taking a lot of damage, bro. He's not taking any damage. He's just
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna say like I don't know what he's doing, but like I know he has had some health trouble, so who knows like what's really going on in life. But like, damn, bro, I just wish he was a little more active.
Last thing on this fight for me, guys. Let's say he does go out there and does what we all say he'll do. Does he stay at 185? Does he move up? What do you guys think? And what do you want to happen?
I mean, you gotta stay at 185, bro. You got to. I mean, do I think that he could whoop Oberg's fucking ass? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But like, you can't just you have to knock off some of these guys, bro. You have to knock off like Nasser Dean at least and like damn near Kyle Bahio, you know? And then maybe we can talk. Like once you knock off like the top contenders, then we can talk. But you need at least like two more fights at this division before you get to start moving up, I feel like.
Yeah, I want him to stay. I don't know if he will. Based on timeline reasons, I could see a world right now is the perfect time for him to go up there real quick and get the belt. It might not mean he stays up there. He might come back. Like, and I don't know if they would vacate it that quick because I would assume the timeline.
They definitely would. They're not trying to like let people champ anymore, really.
Well, I mean, for the next Khabib, I would do it. I
But
would do it.
but they hold Islam. I'm like, come on now.
He's not the next Khabib.
He's the current
Sledding
Khabib.
out here.
He's the current Khabib. What you mean?
It's tough sledding out here. I mean,
He's the better Khabib.
hey, that's all right. That's all right. But I'm just saying Hamzat is a bigger Khabib as well.
Fair.
So yeah, yeah, that's all I got. That's all I
Yeah, I
got.
agree with you. I agree with both of you guys. I'd like to see him at 185 for a little longer and kind of run the gauntlet, get these title defenses up. All right, guys, let's move to the second title fight of the night. New flyweight champion Joshua Van takes on number three Tatsuro Taira. Now, surprisingly, the champ in his first title defense is a plus 145 underdog, according to the UFC websites. Now, everyone knows how he won the belt versus Pantoja, but he did cause the injury. He is a rightful champ, and Tatsuro Taira appears to be the rightful challenger. A lot of people are really high on him. His size, his grappling. He's also super young. What do you guys' read on? What's your guys' read on this fight and the storylines going in this one?
Um, I think that it's honestly kind of justified. As much as I am a Vans witness, I am a Van believer. And I am on record about to say I'm gonna pick him this weekend, even though he is up against it here. Well, even though I personally like to believe that he was well prepared to fight Pantoja and deal with the grappling, we never got to see that. Um,
Mhm.
and because of like Tyra and his well-roundedness, especially how he just dominated Moreno, whooped his fucking ass, a former champ. He's streaking right now, and he is more proven, I would say. Um, but throw that out the window, man. I think Van's here, man. I think he's here for the challenge. I think he's still young as fuck, rapidly improving. And I think that on the feet, he still holds the edge to me. And I think that he can do enough defensive grappling to keep this one mostly on the feet, enough to start to like steamroll Tyra down the stretch, how he tends to do. Like I can, but I will say he can run into some issues if he gets taken down often and early and often, and he can't get back up. Like I'm gonna believe that he can, even if he does get taken down, because I do see him hitting the canvas at least a couple of times in this fight. But I think like I'm hoping, and I think that he'll be able to like scramble enough, get up enough. This is flyweight after all. Like people, it's not like they're the easiest to hold down anyway. And I think he'll be able to do enough to get back to his feet and do enough on the feet to win these rounds and retain.
Mm. Mm-hmm. And what'd you say again? Who is Van? Who is Joshua Van?
The champion?
Ah!
Oh, yeah, yeah. Very well. Well, this is a pure easy matchup kind of pick. It's like, do you trust the striker or grappler? Because I feel like that's all this comes down to. One I think is a lot better on the feet if they are going to stand there for most of the fight. And I think the other one is a pretty good damn grappler. I will say I fear this matchup a little more than Cave, just because I don't think Cave got the wrestling credentials that Tyra has proven in his fights. So this is almost, I would say, like to a lesser extent, a Pantoja 2 kind of matchup,
I agree.
but a lot worse on the feet. Let me just say, if Van is stuffing these takedowns, or at least getting back up and sprawling well, stuff like that, I think this is probably a cakewalk. And Tyra's no slouch on the feet, I will say that. But I think from what I've seen in his fights, I don't think he defends the best. Neither does Van, but I think he can he to me Van just has natural talent. And I think that even the fact this has never been brought up by anybody I've seen that this man only been training 4 years. 4 years in MMA. And he's 24 years old. It's like it's just pure talent, like everything. Like clearly just a very skilled guy. On the feet, it's not even a contest. He's the better striker of the two. I think he can get after Tyra, especially if Tyra is not getting the takedowns.
Yeah,
Van will just go at people. And I don't think he's going to be scared about the moment either and all this other stuff. I am surprised. I guess I'm not surprised Tyra's the favorite if everyone who picked Pantoja is kind of assuming Tyra to do the same thing.
exactly.
Like, if we're just going off the Rory Bell fight alone, right? where Roy Bell's been taken down in the past, correct? And just, controlled easily
Yeah.
before.
Yes.
And he couldn't get him down. And he ended up losing a striking fight where in the Van fight, obviously there was no wrestling done, but they just struck and Van did beat him to the punch there. So we're just going off that fight. I kind of don't see why, or at least it should be a pick 'em. I don't understand why it wouldn't be a pick 'em fight. But either way, I think Van's just good enough. I think he's tough enough is the key word. I think he's just kind of tough enough to like find a way to win these fights. And like I said, I love him like I did Lomachenko in boxing. They're downloaders and they find ways to beat you by, he might lose the first round even. And it might not even go to the ground. He might just like let him do his little striking, whatnot. And
Make
then
his
guess what?
reads. Make his reads.
Yeah, and then guess what? Oh, we're gonna shoot right away. No, I saw that read already. Get off me. Oh, we're gonna throw a little 1-2 that barely hits us. Guess what? I'm gonna throw a seven bag at you. That's just what I see in these like I see talent. That's all I see. But Tyra is super talented. He can always improve, but I think the striking is just not good enough. And I feel like there is way more of a gap there than in the wrestling. Maybe not the grappling. I will admit, I think if it gets down there in a dominant position, it could be trouble. And that's my only fear in this fight. Though I think as long as Van doesn't give his back up, though, he should be okay. I believe for the most part. I think if he gets his bag, I think there could be problems. But my man Van's gonna do damage. All we know to do is win. He's the new John Jones, second youngest ever. We're not losing a single fight now. We're about to chop up this so-called murderous row. We 24, Ed. Who do you have?
Hey, I'm going to agree with you guys. I have Joshua Van. I'm on record saying between the three like challengers that he has with Pantoja, Cape, and Tyra, I think Tyra is the only one that he beats, to be honest. I think Cape beats him, and I think Pantoja definitely beats Joshua Van. But the reason I say that is because in order for Tyra to win this fight, I think he absolutely needs to dominate in the grappling. And I don't know if he can do that. I have a feeling, guys, that this is going to be a war. It's going to be back and forth. I feel like both these guys have really good chins. It's going to be on the feet for large portions. And I feel like we've seen recently, Tyra's going to try to strike a lot with Josh Van. I don't know why I feel that, but I could just see that totally happening. And I'm going to pick Van by fourth round TKO, a late knockout. But this is going to be a war, I think. And it's going to be a really good fight.
It'll be good. Yeah, I agree. As much as I'm proclaiming Van here, I don't think it'll be like super one-way traffic. I think it's gonna be a war for sure. So
I
I'm
definitely think it's
excited.
fight of the night. Fight of the night to me, I think.
I think so as well.
And all the trolling aside, this is like a huge prove it for Joshua Van. Like a
100%.
lot of people are shitting on him online. Like if he comes out here and beats Tyra, he like no one could question him.
Well, that's because Van's actually being confident with his chest. He made a comment where he said black belts are supposed to know how to roll on the mat or, land. And you know what? Is he not wrong? Is he not wrong? You'll see Sean Brady in his podcast earlier thought it was kind of a joke because, he knows wrestling and grappling, even though he's never gotten close to the belt. So, I mean, like, he's just being confident. He's young, man. Of course, he's going to say shit like that. It's not like he's going to be like, oh, I don't deserve the belt because, like, it, it wasn't accidental. Like the man caught it with his
You know,
hand.
it's fine. He caused it. He caused it.
Yeah,
It
but
is what it is.
but most that's what Sean Brady was saying. He's saying he didn't cause it. It's because things happen. things just happen. Yeah, well, guess what? Maybe Pandoja too brittle, and if he gets thrown again the same way, he might break his arm again.
Okay,
Like,
okay, okay.
my God,
I wish Van would talk more shit. I feel like he's pretty reserved. Like,
he is.
I mean, he's a young kid coming into this game. I think that over time, if he keeps having success, he'll up the personality and like, gamesmanship because the UFC will come whisper in his ear, like, come on, man, we gotta sell these tickets, bro. You're such a fantastic guy, but you gotta sell these fights, you know?
He's cold, cold with it. He
He's
doesn't have to say a single word in my book.
he's filthy in there. He's filthy in there.
guys, let's move from flyweight all the way up to heavyweight here in our featured fight of the night. Number two, Alexander Volkov versus number four, Waldo Cortez Acosta. Waldo on a bit of a run here, but Volkov does have some pretty impressive wins over some pretty impressive names like Sergey and Almeida. Really close fight against Gane. A lot of people think he won that. This is a really good fight at heavyweight in a division that needs good fights. What do you guys think about this one?
I kind of think that he beat Gon in all honesty and lost to Almeida, man. 1-2 in his last two fights, but like in my mind, they're like really flipped based on like what I was seeing live. Judges kind of tweaked in both instances, in all honesty. But I mean, I just think that like Waldo's on a run here, man. Even though Volkov blanketed Cyril Gahn, he was like injured, like his like toe was like hurt or something like that. And the only reason he won that fight, in my mind, is because like Gahn was like going for like Kimuras and shit. He didn't want to stand up. His like foot was broken or something like that. Um, and I thought that before that happened, he was probably gonna lose that fight. And then he did lose the Jailton fight. Like, even though like he won on paper, but like I seen what happened in there. The loss was, I mean, the win was just purely to punish Almeida for inactivity in top position. Um, like he did not look overly impressive in either of those fights. Whereas Waldo, to me, he keeps hitting new highs. He's coming off one, two, three first round TKOs. So he's clearly discovered his power after losing to Pavlovich a year ago. Um, I think he's more on a roll, man. I think that with the hands, even though he's at a reach disadvantage, I think he'll be able to like with his boxing maybe get inside. And I think he'll be defensively sound enough to fend off enough grappling to just like maybe just outpoint Volkov on the feet with like more volume and like, land the better strikes. Even though I do expect this to be like a war. Like not a war, but like a back and forth. I don't expect it to be one-way traffic, but I just think that Waldo has better belief in himself right now. Um, he's streaking. He has the momentum to me, and I feel like where he messed up against Pavlovich was like he was a little bit too cautious, and that makes sense. It's Pavlovich, and Pavlovich is like has that freakish power that like scares everybody. But I think that since then he's like found his confidence and gotten off the decisions and starting to really put his power together. So give me Waldo here.
I have a bad feeling that my favorite fighter, Volkov, is somehow gonna pull off some miracle here. I could just kind of see it. But because Waldo, I like Waldo. I think he's good at what he does. But I think his main weapon against most of these guys is his speed. And that's why I will take him this week. Because Volkov, he's a big dude, usually slower,
Yeah.
power puncher. But my issue with Waldo's game is I don't know if he has enough in the toolbox from what I've seen to like really be the champ. But I think his speed is what makes him as good as he is right now. And I think that he can use that to his advantage versus Volkov. Volkov's always been worse against faster guys than him his whole career. I've seen people dance around him all day. Like I think Volkov probably has to wrestle him in this. I don't think it'll be one way traffic, but I think like Volkov's gonna realize quick that he's faster and slightly outpointing him. So I expect Volkov to like move more forward in this fight, kind of go after Waldo. I just think Waldo is the faster guy. Like, and that's what I'm going off here because it's probably Waldo's toughest fight so far. But like I've said multiple times about Volkov, I don't know how he's number two in the world right now. It's embarrassing for the whole heavyweight division that he's up there. And he should lose this fight if Waldo is a very good contender for this division. I would assume. Especially like Volkov just getting older and older, y'all. He been around for 20 years somehow in the top 10 and has never gotten a title shot, you know? Like he been wasting our time for 20 years. So I I need Waldo to win this to get him somewhat out of the top five here and like but he might not he's probably not gonna lose to the rest of these folks coming up. Tybora, Spivak, oh my god.
I think it should be a fun stand-up fight. I'm gonna slightly lean Volkov. Just like I feel like it's gonna be mostly on the feet, and it's kind of hard to win a stand-up battle against Volkov. But Waldo definitely should win for the division's sake. I don't know what the winner gets from this, but like these are two top five guys going at it, so there is a lot on the line for them.
I think Cortez Acosta title shot, like the backup at least, or I mean he could wait, I think easily. I mean, maybe if Haka wins, you just run that kind of title
Hmm.
eliminator
I
between
could see
the
that
two.
I can see Hackett Waldo next, like after the Derek Lewis fight.
for sure. That'd be a great one. All right, guys, let's move the welterweight here. This is a banger fight. Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley. Sean Brady is a minus 165 favorite coming off that tough L against Morales. Joaquin Buckley has not fought in a minute coming off that L against Usman, but both guys looking to get a bounce back dub here at welterweight and get back in that top five. Who do you guys got here?
I think that this can go either way. Um, I think if the fight is stuck on the feet, I can see Buckley like having a lot of success, or even like maybe even potentially finishing Brady. Um, but I think that if Brady gets his hands on Buckley, I could see a world where he kind of just drowns him with his grappling, does his thing. I don't know. I think Buckley is a Morales level fighter. Um, and before the Morales fight, like Brady was going crazy. So I'm not just gonna like take. I just think Morales is a freak. I'm not gonna like overly forget what Sean Brady is and what he can do in there. And I do think that like the grappling of Buckley, we've seen it like be suspect in the past. Um, so I'm just gonna go with the belief that I think Sean Brady's gonna end up getting his hands on him, sap the gas tank, and kind of just like grind him out. Um, I don't see a finish here, but like I do see like at least 29-28 decision where like more often than not, Sean Brady is in grappling control of the fight.
Yeah, last time I was very confident Morales was gonna run him over, and that's what he did. This is definitely a different fight from that. Buckley's a lot more his size. Definitely the more explosive guy. And against my better judgment, I have a feeling this is just a feeling pick here. that Buckley has improved in those areas from the Usman bite. And, and this could be partially because, Sean Brady took Tetsu Taira in his pick earlier today. But near or there, all I'm gonna say is he better. All I heard from him was, "I'm gonna go out there and strangle Buckley." That's what he commented on his fight. So Buckley, buddy, all you gotta do is stuff the takedowns and be your explosive self, because it's the same as the Van Tyra fight basically here. It's if the wrestler comes through or the striker stays on the feet and whoops him. Because that's the story of the fight. I'll go with Buckley, hoping he stays on the feet. I think Buckley's the more exciting contender too. Like Sean Brady to me is just kind of boring. I don't see a lot. Like, I know he ran through Leon, but like Leon was like a shell of himself in that fight. I'm not a super big believer, especially man got standing KO'd by Bilal Muhammad. Who gets standing KO'd by Bilal Muhammad ever? So I have question marks, and I think Buckley has the explosive movements to like give him fits at least.
I'm gonna also go with Joaquin Buckley here. Like you said, Nick, he's talked a lot on interviews and all that, how much he learned from the Usman fight, about how he needs to impose his will early, work on his takedown defenses, wrestling, and all of that. And Sean Brady, man, he just got obliterated. I agree. Joaquin Buckley is not Morales. I don't think he'll do him like he did Morales, but I think the fight, whenever it's on the feet, man, I just think Buckley's gonna hit him with stuff Brady really doesn't like. I'm gonna go with Joaquin Buckley by a second round TKO.
Ooh.
But Brady definitely, like, if Joaquin Buckley hasn't improved on anything, Brady could wrestle fuck him.
Yeah, this is against my better judgment. Like I could easily see a world Brady just kind of takes him down, but
And maybe Brady learned a lot from that Morales fight. I know he kind of just got like destroyed, but that was a lesson. I'm sure he learned from.
Protect your chin is the lesson.
hey, I would hope. God damn.
But a lot of line at welterweight there. Let's move to the opener, guys. King Green versus Jeremy Stevens. Absolute throwback of a fight at lightweight. These guys have crazy records. King Green's 34 and 17. Stevens 28 and 20. Just a hell of fights between the two. Who do you guys got here? Green is a minus 320 favorite.
Yeah, I I would take King Green. I mean Jeremy Stevens just came back from BKFC. How old is he? Are they the same age? Like, okay, they're both 39, but Jeremy Stevens is just so worn out to me. I just kind of feel, and King Green been getting finished quickly as well lately, but I think he definitely has a little more, and he's coming off the win against
Oh, Huber.
The fraud, the champ, right? Ed Zelhuber.
Yeah,
Oh my
future champ,
God.
man, future champ.
Disgusting.
So, I mean, and that is a solid win as much as Zelhuber kind of a goob. It is still a solid win at his age for him. So I would take King Green all day. I think just on the feet in general, like probably the better striker. I think Jeremy Stevens might pop a little more. But I think that's like his only way he wins. Like he's not winning a decision out there. Like I think he's going to have to knock him out. And I think King Green a little too slick for Jeremy Stevens at this point in their careers. So I would take King Green handily. And I don't know who Jeremy faced in his first fight back. I want to say it was Alvarez, Joel Alvarez. I'm not sure, but he lost. So I would take King
Oh,
Green.
it was Mason Jones. Mason Jones.
Uh, I
Yeah.
mean, he's better right now, but still. Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, he's better right now, but still. Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, he's better right now, but still. I mean, he's better right now, but still. I mean, he's better right now, but still. Yeah. I mean, he's better right now, but still.
I'm gonna agree with you, man. I just think that King Green has a lot more in the tank at this phase. No spring chicken himself, but I feel like he always kind of seemed like a plus athlete um throughout most of his career. And like honestly, that's what has allowed him to have a lot of the success that he has with his like hands down head movement type of style. The older he's gotten, the more like clippable he's gotten as well. You get older on some Izzy shit and like the reflexes just aren't what they used to be. Like on some Anderson Silva shit too. Um, but I still think he has plenty in the tank to dip and dodge Jeremy Stevens, kind of make him look silly in there. I think he's gonna kind of like not to say like Stevens will have no moments, but I think that the more the fight goes on, Stevens is gonna like be outclassed and probably finished. Probably like a TKO. I don't see him getting like knocked out cold necessarily, but like just stopped, maybe crumpled. You know what I mean? Just cover it up. I just think King Green has too much for him. I could see him get like, especially like for the finish bonus too. Like, why not, bro? Like, I think King Green is more often on the like he's being used to build someone else up, and if not, they're usually giving him like fun older guys that he can like look good against. And this is like one of those. So give me King Green by like third round TKO.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you guys. I think Green is just more in his flow right now. Stevens is in and out of the UFC. King Green's a tricky customer on the feet. I'm gonna go with him. All right, guys. Let's move to the prelims of these cards. A lot of names to talk about. Let's just start at the top here. We got Atab Gutierrez versus Ozzy Diaz. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about Diaz, but clearly another showcase fight here for Gutierrez, being a minus 1100 favorite on the UFC's website. Talk to me about Ozzy Diaz, guys.
Uh, well, Ozzy Diaz is gonna get chinned, and that's all you need to know at the end of the day. Looking back at his career, man, he's coming off a win against the Jordan Santos, but before that, he got like flatlined in round one against Zhang Ming Yang. um, who, even though he is, a hard puncher, he ain't Gutier, all right? He ain't Gutier. And if he can do it, Gutier definitely gonna do it. Not too much to say here. I'm gonna enjoy these points. I'm gonna enjoy this knockout, and we're gonna keep it rolling for the Gutier train. Because Ozzy Diaz ain't the one. I promise you that. Um, let's see. What else is going on this fucking card?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Gutierrez, like, I don't even think it's a question. We watched the Diaz fight together, that Santos dub. The man Santos fucking gassed out midway through round two and like still was in the fight. Like that's like I was seeing Ozzy Diaz's head get snapped back at times from like slow punches, and I'm like, yeah, this is a step down. I think from who do you fight Puliev? Puliev a lot better, I think, than Ozzy Diaz. So to me, that's a setup for easy points. It's an automatic too in my book.
Oh yeah. Let's see what else.
I really like the Alvarez Amazov fight.
Yeah, that's a banger.
I think that could be a nasty matchup.
Who do
I,
you guys got on that one?
I'd take Amazov. He's actually showing out for Bellator. He's not one of these fake patchy Nicks is out here. Like he's not a fake patchy mix fuck. He's actually here to become a champ. Actually perform well in these fights. He's only lost one as well. Like I want to say it was the fight that made him not champ at Bellator. I think he would beat Alvarez. This is Alvarez's second time up at welterweight, coming from lightweight. I think he just kind of does his thing, and I've seen Alvarez get out wrestled before, which I know Amazov, that's kind of his thing. So I think he beats Alvarez, but that's an interesting matchup because Alvarez, he's one of those tricky vets, I would say.
Yeah, I definitely am gonna go with Almazov just because like he has the kind of grappling like at the top of welterweight, he's gonna obviously have some issues. Like, he's not gonna be able to just wrestle fuck people. But I do think that Joe Alvarez is not the guy to like sustainably keep him off of him. I can kind of see him getting subbed, honestly, in like round two. I think that like he's gonna be on the ground early and often. And once he kind of like, stops being as squirmy, once the energy starts to fatigue him a little bit, like I can see him like getting subbed up, honestly, like rounds two, rounds three. So yeah, I think Amazov is gonna show levels here in the grappling.
Suzerkayev's back.
Yes,
Khamzat's
sir.
boy.
Yes, sir. Trying to get another the Jordan Santos, the aforementioned the Jordan Santos. Yeah, he's here to get knocked the fuck out.
I know who this is, but shout out to him.
He's gonna get knocked the fuck out. He will be on the highlight real soon.
The man who lost to
To
Oz
Ozzy Diaz. Yes.
now,
No,
like
it all makes sense. It all makes sense,
It's
right?
all adding up, guys. This is why they're on the same card. They're brewing something here.
They're definitely a the industry plant parlay is gonna go crazy. I promise you. Like,
They're all such big favorites, but
because you can definitely, but you can like do it by finishing shit and like and like really like parlay them up. Make yourself a one decent plus 100 parlay with them. That's really very likely to happen. Um, this roaming copy of Marco Tulio fight is a banger too. Honestly,
good
that's
one.
like if we didn't have such a like banger co-main, like this could be fight of the night, I would say. Like this is like a sleeper fight of the night pick for me. I feel like this is like gonna get crazy on the feed.
Yeah.
shout out, go on.
No, go ahead, Ed.
Shout out Jim Miller, still kicking, taking on Jared Gordon.
I think he
Who's
wins that fight.
He's a plus 250 dog.
I think he wins. I mean, you know what? Jared Gordon shit. So he shouldn't even be a minus 250 in any fashion.
I do think that old Jim is he is live here, but like yeah. He is
This is an
old
old head fight. He's very live.
exactly. I'm gonna be cheering for him, fuck it.
Yeah, nah, yeah. Fuck Jared Gordon. He ain't winning that.
All
But
right, guys.
shout out Jose Ochoa.
Opening
Shout out,
card, yeah.
he's a dog. He's a dog. I know he has some L's in the UFC, but like clearly like a young, what is he, 25? Like, I mean, he's got to be like 26, 25, like a young dog. I could see him being champ one day. Very Van like almost. Very Van like.
What do
All
you
right,
guys
guys. For all right,
oh
sorry, go ahead.
one last thing. What do you guys think about this Grant Dawson Rabeski fight? Like who would you guys take in that fight?
Rebecca, because Grant
Yeah.
coaching.
Because Grant Dawson's a favorite, but like he really doesn't take punches very well. And like Rabeski can crack and will crack,
Yeah.
I think.
It's tough because Rebecca is like 1-3 in his last four, but I do agree with you guys in
I
this
mean,
matchup.
he's a pretty top comp though.
And he beat Orobai.
That's what made me that's what makes me like still remember him like fondly is the fact that like I remember how much of a scrap he had with Orobai. I think that fight kind of like probably it was kind of a war and like I don't think he's looked the same since kind of, but like I still think that there's some like maybe 80% of that in there, and that might be enough to give Alex hell in there. Like
Someone's getting
I mean
finished
Grant Dawson, not Alex. Grant Dawson.
Someone getting finished.
for sure. All right, but guys, give me your fight of night and performance of night predictions.
Like I said earlier in the video, Fight of the night, I'm gonna go Van Tyra. Um, just because like it's like the highest, it's like high level, high like intensity guys. Like Van has high output with the strikes once he gets rolling, and I think that in the grappling is gonna be some like some tense moments, some exciting grappling if you're like into that. So I just think the fight is gonna be like a full, well-rounded MMA fight, and it's gonna be like all action. I don't think that they're gonna slow down until like later, where like I do think that like Van's not gonna slow down at all, and like he'll just take over, which is also entertaining. So I just see it being like a war until it's like they could potentially even have a finish or like some type of exclamation point moment at the end. So I just think that it has all the makings of a fight of the night to me. And then for a performance bonus, I'm gonna say Gutier is gonna get, a nasty finish, probably round one. But I'm gonna go and then Susarkayev also. Like I could see him like getting something nice off on Santos.
Uh, both are Team Clark approved picks. Fight of the night, the King Josh Van versus Tyra. And then performance of the night, we'll have 1A, 1B. We'll have 1A, Hamzat Chimaev absolutely destroying Sean Strickland.
Facts. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then Josh Van piecing apart Tattoo Tyra and starting the reign of the next John Jones.
Right. Yeah, fight of the night. I gotta go with the co-main. I think it's gonna get bloody. It's gonna be a banger. You guys kind of named all of the really good picks for performance. Uh, I'll throw in Buckley maybe. Maybe gets a fun KO, and he's always really good on the mic, so maybe that'll persuade people to give him a bonus.
I do think if he's gonna win the fight, like him winning by knockout is his most likely path
Mm.
against Brady. So like I wouldn't be mad at that. And it's high level, it's like ranked high decent ranked MMA. So that kind of does hold some weight if you are able to finish a ranked guy kind of deal.
Yeah, absolutely amazing card. Can't wait for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments. Please go check out the TikTok, and see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.